So Christopher Williams calls Jaguar Wright a rockhead. Let's just put it out there, because of the algorithm. He calls her a rockhead. And while many people think that it's her karma, and while some people think it was mean that he said that, I am, for one, am neutral. However, if somebody was to have said things about me that never happened, and I stand on it 10 toes down that it never happened, and they're wilding out and been making money off of this lie for pretty much 4 years, I would say something that wasn't nice about them myself. I may not have called them a rockhead, but I wouldn't say that they are a child of God. Let's just say that. And we can't get mad at Christopher Williams at all. We don't have to, clap for what he said. We don't have to, be angry. But we have to understand why this man finally spoke up after years of his name being played on. And he's finally had enough. And he called her a rockhead. I will say ready rock. That's a better term. Ready rock. Okay. So Christopher Williams is, I say, an iconic singer of the late 80s and 1990s in the category of New Jack Swing, R&B, okay? And I remember seeing Christopher Williams back in 89 when he dropped the single Promises. And then he had his really big peak in 1991 with the song I'm Dreaming, and he was in the movie New Jack City. And it was filmed in my neighborhood of Harlem, New York, and other parts of the city. And my family, we love New Jack City. I love New Jack Swing, but I also love the movie New Jack City. And it was released the same year as Boys in the Hood, but I believe New Jack City was released a couple of months prior than Boys in the Hood. All right, a few months prior. So Christopher Williams peaked. He had a supporting role in the movie, and the lead single off the New Jack City soundtrack went number 1 on the R&B charts, okay? And Christopher Williams is somebody who many people believe and felt that he should have been the next coming. He should have been an R&B superstar. But things didn't work out the way it should have, and he became unsung. Okay, Christopher Williams lived his life, minding his business. He had an unsung that I believe was released around 2020, just before the pandemic, because I actually happened to see it a couple of years afterwards. So what happened is that the summer of 2020, during the pandemic, Jaguar Wright has spoke about a lawyer who pretty much said to her years prior, this lawyer said to her, when I was working at Bad Boy Entertainment, there was Christopher Williams who was trying to get a deal with him, and it didn't work out. But I happened to walk in just before the close of business day, and I happened to see a light-skinned man give Diddy, or Puffy at the time, Puffy, top. And it looked like it was Christopher Williams. Now, I believe the lawyer told Jaguar Wright this not to go all over the world, if this conversation even happened, to not, go all over the world and tell this situation to the whole world. I believe she told it in confidence. Now, also, Jaguar Wright did say that when the lawyer lady walked in, her career was never the same. Because even though she didn't stay in it entirely when the session was going on, Puffy started bullying her to the point where he bullied her out of working at Bad Boy, and she got blackballed because she had walked in on something that she shouldn't have seen. But Christopher Williams' name has been connected in this story, and for years Christopher never said nothing. So now Christopher says, I'm not that kind of person. And this is what he said, according to a video I saw, but this is posted in Everything Urban's website, okay? So it reads, back in the day, Christopher Williams sang about talking to himself, but the New Jack City actor singer found an audience of more than one when sharing views on Sean Diddy Combs and Jaguar Wright. Ice Cream Convo cited the 2024 Tom Joyner Fantastic Voyage as the place where Williams didn't hold back on a controversial hip-hop mogul during a performance. Don't start that Nino Brown-ish pretty mother effer, the entertainer said while interacting with fans and asking someone to fix his hair. I done said, no Diddy, that punk ass in. Bringing Wright into the interaction, Williams wasn't sure on words for her as he labeled the outspoken songstress a crackhead. They talking about that I gave that punk ass in some head. Jaguar Wright is a crackhead, but I'm going to pray for her anyway. Focusing back on Combs, Williams made it known who he is, where he is from, and what would happen if the Bad Boy Records hitmaker was behind bars with him. I wish a ninja would. I'm from the Bronx. I will smack Puffy ass tomorrow. The Every Little Thing You Do vocalist declared, if we were locked up, he'd be my Maytag. Y'all better ask somebody in the real world who Christopher Williams is in real life. Don't get that singing-ish twisted at all. Williams blasted Wright and Combs comes after Wright claimed in an interview that an entertainment attorney who worked at Bad Boy Entertainment, as I stated earlier, allegedly walked in on Williams servicing Diddy in exchange for a demo deal. Needless to say, the commentary got way under the promises singer skin. As for the jail-free folk who don't know what a Maytag is, and that includes us, I've seen conflicts of times a word as a jail term for inmate who has been used and abused by other inmates. Yeah, nobody wants to be a Maytag. Nobody wants to be a Maytag. And Christopher Williams, I wouldn't have even said that. I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't even said that. But what I will say is this. Years ago, I could have spoke about this story, 4 years ago. And I'm sure that it gained traction on a lot of people's, commentaries and so forth. But my whole thing is I'm an ethical person. And I said to myself, I'm going to wait until Christopher Williams comes out and says something. Christopher Williams, 4 years, never said anything. I'm sure he heard about it. I'm sure somebody said, Jaguar's talking about you. He probably was like, whatever. Now, I'll be sure is Christopher Williams' cousin. I think they're like first cousins. It's really funny how Jaguar has the utmost respect for I'll Be Sure, but she can't stand Christopher Williams. Now, the thing is that in 2020, the fall of 2020, Jaguar Wright gave an interview and stated that Christopher Williams, back a couple of years prior to 2020, there was a show that Jaguar Wright was on the bill to perform, and Christopher Williams was the headliner. And Christopher Williams was choosing the people to perform on the show. And on the show, he supposedly wanted Jaguar Wright on the show, but the amount of money that Jaguar Wright wanted to be paid for, he declined. So they had a falling out, and the contract that she ended up signing, she said that Christopher Williams lowballed her. And from that moment on, she has hated him. Now, that could be true. Because I did look up and did research 4 years ago and did find that Jaguar Wright and Christopher Williams and other people were supposed to do this concert in Las Vegas, okay? But what happened is that it never came to be with Jaguar supposedly doing the show. So Jaguar either must have pulled out or he must have dropped her. We don't know if that's the reason why. But all I know is that doing the research, she was supposed to be on the show, and then at the last minute, she wasn't there. I believe that Christopher Williams probably didn't want to deal with Jaguar for the reasons we see now. And from that moment, Jaguar has hated Christopher Williams. And when the whole thing happened with the young man who passed away, who is the reason why Jaguar came forward on the internet and had to become a YouTube icon, or an infamous YouTube icon for that matter, she has basically made it her mission to destroy the industry, but also destroying other people's name. And Christopher Williams is one person that she's never said nothing good about. Okay? And I believe that that's the main reason why she's doing this. I believe that because of the deal that didn't happen, the show, Christopher Williams didn't want her on the show. I believe that she's decided that if I ever get the chance to, destroy your name, I'm going to do it. And that's what she's been doing. And, you could tell when someone is at peace because they said, I'm going to pray for you. I know that you got issues. Calling her a crackhead isn't saying, you're a crackhead, but it's saying that you're not mentally right in the brain. You're not acting like a normal person in society. You're not doing things that you should be doing with your life. You could be doing things that's bringing, like goodness to you and your family, bring us prosperity to you, but you're just being very destructive because you're not happy. Get help. I'm going to pray for you so that it could lead you to some type of therapy, because what you're doing is harming you more than helping you. You saying this to me, listen, I'm going to debunk it and then I'm going to move on. And that's exactly what he did. And shout out to Christopher Williams, because that's what a lot of us New Yorkers do. Like a lot of people from other states, y'all hold on to stuff. I've noticed. But a lot of us New Yorkers, a lot of us, we'll just say, it's not true. And we'll go about our business. But Jaguar is at the point where she wants to take down everybody. And the main person that she said she wanted to destroy is Puffy and Clive Davis. And Puffy, because Puffy has gone down the way he's gone, Jaguar felt confident, and she's been brought back to the forefront. Now, Clive Davis, that's another person. He's a 92-year-old man. Girl, that ain't gonna happen. Okay? All right? And with that being said, I'm happy that Christopher Williams said what he said in the classiest way. And Christopher Williams has way more hits than Jaguar Wright. If you look at Jaguar Wright's discography and you look at Christopher Williams' discography, you know the rest. And with that being said, I'm going to sign off, but I'll be back soon because we got to talk about Monique.